Hey, welcome to For the Record, episode 15 with Barrett, Director of Training for RLO.
Welcome, Aftermarket Pros, to For the Record, from the creator of the award-winning Remarkable Results radio podcast. Now, listen to a slice of wisdom, a concept, a sentiment, a theory, and maybe even a rant from one of your industry colleagues. For the Record.
Hello, Carm Capriato here, and in just a few seconds, Barry gets to opine about the right customer. I know why you're here, because you love to learn. Hey, miss any of the Remarkable podcast interviews or roundtables? Well, go to remarkableresults.biz/archive. Please commit to being a perpetual student and use this resource as your secret weapon. Now for a dose of wisdom from Barry Barrett as he talks about having the right customer and psychographics. Ooh, big word that he brings into perspective for you. Barry's talking points, bio, and links to his previous episodes can be found on the show notes page for this episode at remarkableresults.biz/F015. The views and opinions expressed are those of my guest and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the authors, sponsors, associates, or affiliates of LSTN Media, LLC. For the Record is sponsored by the Town Hall Academy, where your investment in these long-form audio interviews will pay you dividends as you listen to learn. Now here's Barry Barrett for the Record.
This is Barry Barrett with RLO, and today I'm going to rant about the right customer. We all need the right customer. And so a lot of times we get in trouble because we think that everybody is our customer. And then we start to market to what's called the messy middle. And when you market to the messy middle, you're marketing to everyone. And those people aren't looking for anyone. And so what we need to do as professionals is find our 10 to 20% of the market who is our exact target market, that we can only bring the value. We can only be the ones that bring the value that they're looking for. So two of the things we market with that is largely the most used is demographic and geographic. Of course, in the automotive world, the geographic is usually about 5 miles from the shop, depending on what kind of area you're in. Are you in a rural area, city? I get it. But if it's a city, most of it's about a 5-minute mile radius. If you're in a rural area, it's a little bit wider, but no one's going to pass 30 shops to get to yours. So this geographic is very important. The next thing is demographic. The demographic being age of a person. It could be race. It could be sex. It could be different things. It could be income, household value, those types of things. So the easiest way is first you get the 5-mile radius. The next thing that you're going to look for would be the household income. And then the next thing is household value. Because if they've got a house that's worth a lot of money and they paid a lot of money, but their income isn't very high, you're going to get someone who can't afford your services. If you have someone who has a very high income and they have a very low household value, you've got yourself a cheapskate. They're not going to spend the money. They don't value nice things. They value having it in the bank account. Nothing wrong with that. It's just the way they see the world. Which brings me to my third and most important thing that we're looking for is a concept called psychographic, which in my estimation is the most important because it's how someone thinks. So when we align the way we think with the way our customers think, you get this meeting of the mind that works. The problem is when you market to everyone, the messy middle, is that your minds don't connect. If you're a shop that brings a lot of value and therefore you're priced such that value, you can continue to bring that value, i.e. you're priced at the top of the market, the people in the middle will never want to pay that price, no matter how much convincing you set out to do the convincing. So what we have to do is focus on the people who value the creativity that you bring, because there's nothing creative about putting on brakes. There's nothing creative about installing a water pump. That's called a cog in the wheel. So when you're a cog in the wheel and you market yourself as a cog in the wheel, you'll get paid like that. If you go, that's why school was created. School was created so that factories would have workers to put into there. So when you go to school, just know, as Seth Godin says, that you're learning mediocre obedience so that you can go be a cog in the wheel, and they are trying to pay you lower, because if they can train someone to do the same job for cheaper, they're going to. But if you can be a professional and you can be a technician that learns how to diagnose vehicles, that's creativity, because you can't teach just anybody to do that. They don't teach that in school. They teach you the beginnings of that. They teach you what a scan tool is and those types of things. But creativity is coming up with new creative ways that only you can do. So as a service advisor, the creativity is not that you're an order taker. Here's a tablet, pick one. That is a cog in the wheel. And if you act like that and you think those tools are going to replace you, guess what? They will. But you can't replace human connection. And really what people want is human connection. All people don't want it, but the top 10 to 20% of customers want human connection. The people who will pay you the most want that connection. They want that service, no matter what people say. That's the people that we want to pay attention to. That's the psychographic that we're looking for. There will always be the bottom 80. The old Henry Ford quote, you can have it in any color as long as it's black. That doesn't exist anymore. That was cool for a time when you couldn't create as much and as easy. But now creativity is so cheap. I can hire people to do the things that I don't want to do and create. So now we can create. Now we have, I don't know how many models of vehicles. I don't know how many thousands of colors there are, but it's not just black. So what my challenge is for everyone to do is to find your creative niche, market to the people who care deeply about what you're trying to do, and go and do that. Because that's the real work. That's the work that fulfills us, that creative. We're made to be creative. So when we can fill that gap, we live a fulfilled life. And then we help other people that we serve with the same type of fulfillment. That's my rant.
Thanks for listening to For the Record from Remarkable Results Radio. Subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast listening app. Find all Remarkable Results podcast content at remarkableresults.biz. Remember, your learning curve never sounded so good.